Okay, I call this meeting to order, and let's do roll call. John Bergner here. Robert Nackert.
Here.
Doug Clark. He might be late, but he's busy tonight. Mira Kresovic.
Present.
Alderman Hofer. Here. Yeah, here. And Ann Adamski.
Present.
And then we also have Pete Kosovich. And Brian Sawinski.
Sergeant
And
Iyer.
Tony.
And then Tony Magna, of course.
Sergeant Iyer.
Sergeant.
And Sergeant in attendance. Okay, how if we do the Pledge of Allegiance to start? And maybe before that, just about a 5-second moment of silence. Okay, I pledge allegiance. Okay, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Huh? I invited
Hi,
you.
boss.
Hush.
And the boss, Mayor Olson, is here. We just did roll call.
He's looking at him today.
Not supposed to salute sergeants, but
I did too. Okay, let's do our citizen comment period. No citizens, so we'll go over that. Well, we're going to I think we should first have the discussion while the mayor's here. Move on to the parade issues. In the parade, we're working on making plans for December 4th for the Christmas tree lighting. They have a first-time parade, and with everything going on, we just want to go over our thoughts and ideas, and maybe Ann, you want to start it off with what we got planned?
Well, everything's on hold as of right now. And I think you can agree with me that festivities, our parades, anytime we're on that parade route, you've got to be cognizant of things that are going on around you. I can't tell you how many times I stood in the middle of that street and stood and looked around because of cars. You don't know. But I think our officers do something a little bit different than a lot of these cities do, because I watch and I try to see what other. Tell was a perfect example. They stick the barricades up and they have an officer standing there, but their squad's over there. Now, if you watch our parades, you got the streets barricaded, and as soon as that parade starts, that squad is right in front of the barricade or behind it. So if a car comes through, it's going to hit the squad, the barricade, and then go through. If a car comes through, it's going to hit the squad, the barricade, and then go through. So we have 2 layers of protection. So I think our officers do something a little more unique than some of these cities do.
well, before we go farther in this discussion, I want that gavel. Mine's a little wimpy big. Mine's a little wimpy big. Well, Sergeant Ireland's here. I don't know what he wants to talk about relative to the Waukesha scenario, but I had a long conversation with the chief. I had a long conversation with other department. I had a long conversation with other department heads. Waukesha, in my opinion, and I don't want to speak for the chief, but my sense is that he has the same mind. That was a unique situation. It does not mean that we don't take stock in it and do things to prevent something like that from happening here. Although I believe, as Ann suggested, our current way of doing business in terms of parades, chief and other department heads have a plan to do something better. So I would like to see the parade go forward. I know there are some people with alternate views. We're 2 weeks out. We'll be 2 weeks out from the event. A lot of planning's gone into this really quick go forward. with the security that the chief has in his mind. The chief and I, and maybe even Ann, have gotten a lot of phone calls today from media wanting to know what our security is gonna be. Well, you know, if you tell them what the security is gonna be, it's not security anymore, is it? They don't understand that, and I don't think they hear that from many people, but they heard it from Chief and me and Ann. That's my preference. The only issue that I have, the only issue that I have with us making a decision is there's other groups involved, even though the parade's really you guys. My suggestion is you say, we're on. It's a small route, short parade. It's easily contained. Sergeant Ireland's nodding up and down. I got the beginnings of a press release.
And
There's multiples.
Oh, I'm sure this is feasible. I'm sure that there's a lot of reasons it's a no-go. But we have so many smaller trails within the park. Is it remotely feasible to have, like, what's the road where the, you know, like where the police department is, Drexel, and then is that
Forest Hills behind.
here? Right, where are we? Buttes.
Other way. Oh,
There we go. Like to maybe have it, I don't know, I'm just, and honestly, this is a reaction. So maybe have it come in, like, you know how the police department's here? I don't know if, have it line up and come in
Forest Hill.
here. There's a tiny bridge there that I don't even know if it could handle. And then like go that way, and then there would be a small overlap there. That would and then like go that way, and then there would be a small overlap there. That would actually be a longer parade if you map it out.
But once we get past that, that's my concern, is once we get past that 4:30, we're gonna be dark. There's no lights.
Oh, then no, yeah.
And that's why I thought our timing would be just perfect, where we'd get there between quarter to,
how many units are you asking?
we've got about 17.
That's what the, well, now.
That's everybody.
6. Okay. That's including 6 all electeds?
I've got you as one big
One?
group, yes. Whether one shows up or all 6 of them show up.
You kind of maybe, anyway.
And you got your ride in the fire truck I saw, so you don't need the Christmas one, so.
Do you have a Santa hat?
And that's the other part of this, that I also asked, because every parade needs a grand marshal, and this being no different, and I thought, what the heck, why not have the kids of Franklin, the boys that won the game, the championship, have them as our grand marshals?
That would be sweet.
yeah.
But he said, as the principal says to me, you know, thanks for thinking of us, we'll let you know.
Yeah, well,
Okay, so,
yeah, well.
okay, so,
So I'd like to hear from Alderman Holfer, and then you guys let me know what you think.
Well, I think given the size and the fact that the road's not on main thoroughfares and that, I wouldn't have a problem with going ahead. I mean, just you wanna, you know, be cautious, and I would think just given the amount of open space and relatively flat ground, if somebody was intent on getting in there, they could be in there, but I don't see any undue risk.
I think this is well said, yeah. Because, you know, going out and celebrating while we have, you know, people mourning right now. You know, but the way you put it,
I'm not aware of anyone from the city being injured, and definitely not killed in the event.
yeah, we had friends at it that one granny's made it the team for the first time. And she was in that parade for just as the first one, and she just barely got missed. But right next to her, they lost their lives.
Yeah.
But she was there for the first time.
Well, I don't know if anybody read. 2 police officers for sure, and their families there. and we had at least 2 firefighters there.
They were there today too, I saw, because I.
Well,
caught the news.
this is as parade
This morning.
viewers.
Viewers, yeah.
Yes,
And I caught
yes,
them
yes.
helping this morning they were helping too, because I saw 2 of our squads go through on the camera.
We were there in a positive force, and I think the shutdown doesn't do, for a guy who walks in the parades, it doesn't do any honor for the folks that lost their lives participating in the parade. If we were doing the parade down in the parade, if we were doing the parade down Main Street in Waukesha, that would be a different story, I would think.
Good point.
Personal opinion.
Yeah, I like
Personal opinion. But they were there to bring in the season. Unfortunately, someone else had a different thought. But I respect your opinion. It's not my decision alone, even though the buck stops.
Yeah, and then the thought is, how many people are gonna be willing to come now? You know,
I've gotten probably 7 or 8.
you know,
I've gotten probably 7 or 8 emails from people asking, is the parade still on? So I said, as of right now, it is. I said, we're having a meeting tonight. I said, I'll put something out tomorrow if anything changes. But I think either way, we should put something out saying, even in light of what happened, and you don't want to sound cold-hearted or rude, but we still move on.
yeah,
And
but
you
this
can't
right here is something to put, this
power-
here explains it all.
Can I use that?
Well, I want to work on it, but yes.
Okay, or use some of your lines.
Or you could use that. Sergeant, do you want to? John, I'm sorry. I
No,
swear to you.
no.
Do you have any input?
As far as, well, I think as time goes on between today and the event, I think there will be some more information that gets out. They'll probably comfort people as, walk shopping going into the holiday season.
That was well said.
Well, and we've had it in 4th of July. I'll tell you, we've had it twice.
We had
2 years
Alderman
ago,
lose
the
his
first-
wife that morning.
Well, there was the one 2 years ago, and Aid and I were talking on the corner, and all of a sudden this SUV comes flying up, and she went the other side, and then she stopped and yelled at me to get away, and then she went after him. But they think, some of these people and we're gonna have to switch something too next year. Because when you get up to that certain point where you guys line up, right at that corner where Forest Hill and Drexel hit, that's open, and then you hit people that are sitting on the outside. Open, and then you hit people that are sitting on the outside. Well, these cars don't realize that they can't go past that line, and they just go. So she was pulling them back, because there was 2 or 3 that crossed. And I thought, we're gonna have to put something in the middle there so that they don't get that far.
Well, I'll say it again. The chief and other departments have a plan.
And I'm sure it's gonna be used going forward for 4th of July.
You can imagine what it is, but
That's why he's the expert. That's fine. I have no problem with it. I have 100% faith in our police. I'm sorry, you know that. I have no doubt.
Is anyone opposed to having the parade?
I did see Menominee Falls did cancel theirs, but theirs is Saturday.
this Saturday. Yeah.
This Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
I
That
know
would have
there's
caused me to
7
slow
of them.
down.
There's
if it
7
was
of
this
them
Saturday.
on our Saturday.
Oh, I'm gonna comment now that you said that. When 9/11 happened, I was teaching, can still remember the moment, and the principal, no discussion of it as though it never even happened, we just went through the day. And I'm like, Greg, what? And he's like, no, the whole purpose to these events, Greg, what? And he's like, no, the whole purpose to these events is to disrupt your normal life. So in order to overcome that, you live your normal life.
Business as usual.
I 100% agree with that. My statement is for this Saturday is, I'm certain there's going to be a number. My statement is for this Saturday is, I'm certain there's going to be a number of funerals on Saturday.
Oh.
I would have done it for that.
Yeah.
But West Dallas,
West Dallas, as far as they said they're moving forward.
and they've been doing it for, like Waukesha, they years? That long?
you know, it's a whole new world with the pandemic and everything else, and there's a lot of people who aren't on their meds, and I just think we all just have to be a little more aware and watch our surroundings and be more proactive, that's all.
Didn't know if anyone else had heard that anyone else is canceled. You're not getting any negative feedback from the participants?
No, other than people already complaining, and I hope they're not gonna cancel, and you know how that then turns into something else and something else, and.
Yeah. We still got 2 weeks, so.
And it's not like it's just the parade though, so you still got, and even though you've got stuff going on at the historical buildings, you got stuff at the library, and if we stop the parade, well, you could still have a car go through the historical building, so it's not just because it's a parade, it can happen to anything. Just because it's a parade, it can happen to anything. And you're not gonna have them shut down.
On that note, I drove in and I saw the barn lit up. It just looks beautiful. Sorry.
Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. All right, next on our list to talk about, got approval, thanks to the mayor and common council, to hold the event next year. It'll be a 4-day event. No.
5 days.
5 days? You're kidding me.
Yes, I thought, oh, good God, don't you even think about that.
No. I mean, the one reason we had to do 4 days is to get Bella Kane. It's the only night, that Friday night, that we can get them.
How about $8?
Eddie, but we got on the Friday night on the 1st, we got Bella Kane. On Saturday the 2nd, we got from 3 to 6, Doo-Wop Daddies. From 7 to 11:30, we got the toys. And then on Sunday, from 3 to 6 again, we got the Jimmies back. We had the Jimmies last year. And then,
Discount?
oh, because he's a relative?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we actually negotiated the price, and I settled because he's a relative. And then on the night of the Sunday night, Rhythm Method. And then on the 4th, the 4th is still up in the air. Because there's another band called Almighty Vinyl, but they can only play on Sunday, and if Rhythm Method's willing to play on the 4th, then I'll have 4 top bands: Rhythm Method, Almighty Vinyl, Toys, and Bella Kane. All 4 nights.
By the way, John, you should know that Ed's a rock and roller.
He knows who all these bands are,
I
right?
do.
So we haven't had, we've had Rhythm Method before, we've had the Toys before, so it's looking good. And then the 4th is still up in the air.
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, and the afternoon of the 4th is the differentials again. They are the Eagles
Is that 3 to 6?
from, 2 to 5. Because then the next one is 6:30 to 9:30. That's the one that's still open. But I'll send you full times too. Because I'm just got the contracts had to get approved first, and then takes a couple
Yeah,
weeks.
Not me. You got the vote, I don't. Can we back up to citizen comments so I can make a general comment?
Yeah.
First thing is, I mentioned at the common council, this whole event is something I've been trying to organize for 7 years. And I think it's gonna be a tremendous thing for our city. And to me, this is really what my dream of this committee is. You guys are the party folks. Frankly, since John and Ann got involved, it's done very well. It's taken off. The Christmas event has taken off. And I see on here a cornhole tournament. I have no clue what that's going to be, but if it's a city celebration, I'm certain if you guys are working on it, it'll be tremendous. July is the best ever, and of all of them around. But I just wanted to thank you all for that very quick work. And the Vietnam Wall is going to be another thing that's just going to be a tremendous asset for the city, and it's because Ann decided it would, be a good thing. Well, that's how things get done in the city. Somebody thinks it's a good thing and makes it happen, and here we are. So I want to thank all of you for the work you do. It's great for the community, and I appreciate the effort.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the effort.
Thank you.
So then, one other thing, I did make contact with Keith Washington from Big B Coffee. He may be interested in doing hot chocolate and coffee for the Christmas stuff. Which might be a problem because now we're gonna have Mike Zimmerman want to do something from Blend. That's okay, they'll figure it out. So,
Yeah, he'll be busy.
yeah.
No.
What could Mike Zimmerman do?
Well, he's got Blend, which is a coffee shop. He'd probably want to have
Well, he's the
shots
guy,
in it.
that's his, okay.
He'd probably want to have
Well, he's the
shots in
guy,
it.
that's his, okay.
No,
But
it won't blend it, you know, both of them.
But my issue is Big B, I don't know is a member of the chamber. They're not a member of the chamber, and they don't want to do the hot liquid, but want to give coupons. They're putting their coupon liquid, but want to give coupons. They're putting their coupon in a Chamber of Commerce gift bag. A little bit of a problem. So I told Keith he had to join the chamber. See, it's all politics, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's it for me. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Besides our clowns.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Besides our clowns.
Well, and also another thing to add is a cornhole tournament in 2022. Doug was going to be in charge of that. So,
For what, the 4th of July?
and Sunday, we'll just have, and we've done it. We've done an arm wrestling tournament. We've done dodgeball. We've done karaoke, but we haven't done a.
By the way, my neighbor wants karaoke.
That's 15 years when we started it. We did that for like 5 or 6 years. Seems like it's that long ago. I don't know.
Before my time, I never.
We never had it even when you were with
When
us.
I was around, no.
No.
I've only been here it's going to be my 5th year.
Your 5th year, yeah. But, okay. Yeah, Doug will be in charge of that. And then is the Vietnam Wall display.
It's still up in the air. I haven't gotten a schedule yet. It should be coming out in the next week or so, where everybody's going to be, so then we can officially announce it. Should be coming out in the next week or so, where everybody's going to be, so then we can officially announce it. She wants me to get a committee together, but if I can't tell anybody, how can I get a committee together? So I'm thinking we're going to wait probably till the first of the year to do that. I went and talked with the Lions last week to do that. And Doug Milanovich has got huge contacts, so we've got a couple construction companies. Lions got a couple contacts, and then between the fire department, I'm gonna go talk to Adam next week. And I think we're gonna be okay for setup and takedown. So we'll just need to get volunteers for during those 4 days.
Explain to them where we're going to do it.
We're gonna be at the high school. The display's gonna be at the high school. They need 185, the display's gonna be at the high school. They need 185 feet on each side of the wall,
Yards.
or 185 yards,
Yeah.
sorry.
That's 3 times that.
185. It's gonna be like in a pyramid. It's gonna be between the Sabre Center, between the stadium and the school where the pool is. Beautiful tree right in the back, so it's gonna be put there. We set it up, we take it down. They send 2, I guess you would call them experts, to help, to show how these have to go up. There's certain ways that these slabs go up and certain ways it goes in the ground. Everything's self-contained. It comes with light. They're coming in They're arriving Tuesday, Tuesday afternoon. They're gonna do a meet and greet right there, with some public officials. They wanna meet the mayor, and then they do pictures and whatnot with the people who help them. There's gonna be an escort in, so 40 minutes from the destination. So they would meet our officers over there, and then we would go through a route and pick up the officers from that municipality to come to ours. This is part. My thought was, between 15 minutes and 40 minutes, why not the park and ride on 76th Street by State Fair?
Oh, where are they coming from?
She said it doesn't matter. She says you can pick any side of the city. Because I'm thinking that's where they're gonna pick their drivers from, because they don't have a set driver. They pick these drivers who drive these semis by location. So depending on where one is coming, it's gonna come that way. So I thought that would be the easiest route. You're coming down 76th Street, you pick up West Allis. You're coming down 76th Street, you pick up West Allis, Greenfield, Greendale, and then us.
I'm not gonna get in the middle of your business.
No, I'm not just suggesting,
But you let me know and I'll make the contacts with, well, I'll make the contacts with the mayor, or we can work through Sergeant Ireland and the
Yeah.
chief and do it that way, but
Yeah, no, I thought that would be nice, and nice to have a couple fire departments in there too would be ideal.
do you like making noise?
I requested that that our officers be in the lead, because they're set up at the high school. They unload that day, pictures taken the next day, Wednesday, it would be Wednesday, setup starts 8 AM, usually takes between 4 and 6 hours. They set up for the day, shuts down the next day. They finish anything that needs to be done aesthetically to make it look nice. We do a soft opening for whoever's there, and wants to come and see it. It's not gonna technically be advertised as a soft opening, but, like for volunteers and stuff. And then we start, Thursday morning. So Thursday it'll officially open, so it's gonna run Thursday through Sunday at 2 PM. And it's gonna, they pack everything up, they shut down, and they leave.
One thing
Pack everything up, they shut down, and they leave.
One thing on this, it's pretty unique now that the school district is working with the city on something like this, even though it's really not a city thing. So I wanna make sure that we recognize the contribution of the school district in providing us the area and the parking and they're being very cooperative on it. So I just ask that everything we do says something
Oh, to thank them.
with the Franklin Public Schools. City of Franklin and Franklin Public Schools present.
Oh.
City of Franklin and Franklin Public Schools present,
Oh,
that kind of stuff.
okay.
They're gonna be second, but it's on the record, but, because this is, Ann can tell you stories. This wasn't as easy as you would think, but
Mhm.
And then let them know the cost of what we're paying for it.
Oh, the cost of the actual wall to come here is $10,000. Payable upfront when we sign the contract.
And what are the hours it'll be open again?
24 hours.
24.
It opens Thursday morning.
And it'll be run off generators?
Yes.
Think we're gonna have any issues with any neighbors and all?
No, there's nobody. I live, you said I think of where I am, east, west, north. I am north of the football field. So it's between the football field and the high school. And it's July. 2 more football fields behind, and then the parking lot in front. I can't imagine noise-wise. No. Right here.
Oh, in the old parking lot?
Yeah.
Right there?
Yep.
Okay.
Because we wanted it here, but it's too slopey, so it's gonna be right in here. It's gonna be set up on an angle.
And then should we cover the volunteers when we talk volunteers?
I think we're gonna do the volunteers a little bit different. I actually already have probably 7 or 8 volunteers already for that. It's a little bit more unique as far as, you've got 2 different jobs. You have somebody who wants to sit in a booth and sell tickets, or sell beer or soda, or you have somebody that's going to stand at a memorial and just kind of be there like the city's ambassador, so to speak. Because these people, they want somebody to be there at all times, to help the people, somebody to be there at all times, to help the people, to assist in anything that they need. A lot of people like to scratch the wall with the names, to help them, even just somebody to stand with them, you know? Because it's kind of, they say for those 4 days, it's gonna be sacred ground, so to speak.
How many did,
They say for those 4 days, it's gonna be sacred ground, so to speak.
how many did they want on site at a time?
At least 3 to 4
3 to 4.
people per shift.
And we come up with the shift hours then?
She said you'd be smart to do between 3.5 and 4 hours a shift. You'd be smart to do between 3.5 and 4 hours a shift. And then the night shift should be 2 4-hour shifts.
2 4 or 2 6?
4. And that's really all I know right now, until we have some type of meeting. But she just kind of gave me an overview of everything, so I just passed it on.
So we're gonna do.
Thought we were gonna do both. Take it for the
Which is-
budget now,
works
but
too.
then, yeah, but when the letter goes out, it's gonna include that the wall's gonna be
Yeah.
here. Oh, good.
I'd like to put it at that level. Because it is an intro.
Yeah.
Oh, cut it out.
No, I think that's fine. Other than that, that's really all I know.
And, you know, I've let Pete know, you know, I want to thank Pete for all his help with the volunteers for all these years. But now that we're doing a combination, you know, doing volunteers now, for going to take over volunteers. But appreciate everything you've done. We still need you to help us out. You know, like I said, you could be in charge of the volunteer tent. I mean, the volunteer headquarters, the headquarters. But, you know, first of all, thanks for taking that responsibility.
Thanks for the recognition. It's been a lot of work.
You know.
The other way, there. There you go, right there. There.
Easy.
No, go over a little bit more. Yeah,
Hang on.
Right under the
I'm
nose.
with you, but hold on.
Don't tell him what to do.
No, you can tell me what to do, that's what my job is. Where the hell is the, here it is.
Yep, it's right above your, nope, not that, yeah, that's where we originally wanted it, and they said no. So it's gonna be in front of that.
It's gonna be in here, right?
Nope, in front of it.
Right here?
Right there, yes.
Even better.
Only because of the incline up back there. You're afraid of people trying to get up that little, they've got a little slope back there, wheelchairs and whatnot. It's gonna cut off a few parking spots, but I don't think that's gonna be a big deal. For the porta potty.
Alderman Hopper was appropriate in asking about the generators because of potential noise overnight, but this area kind of gets it away.
Yeah,
So you're gonna do,
yes.
excellent.
And there's a beautiful tree right in the back there that's always gonna be a nice backdrop.
Oh, I
And
see
you've
it.
got, once all those trees are in bloom, you can't hear a thing, cause I'm on the opposite end, and when they're playing football early in like August, it's quiet. But boy, once those trees are cleared out, and 2 weeks ago, But boy, once those trees are cleared out, and 2 weeks ago, it was just like they were in the kitchen. It was like, holy mackerel.
Ah,
You got the picture.
Is that tree right where that road starts coming in?
It's
Right
right
there?
on the edge.
Is that tree right where that road starts coming in?
It's
Right
on
there,
the
right
edge,
there?
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, right there.
how many yards do we need?
185.
Yards or feet?
I think it's feet.
If that's true, then we're okay. If it's yards, we're in
Yeah,
trouble.
no, I don't think it's yards. I
Well,
swear it's feet.
Yeah, yeah,
In
Yeah,
trouble.
no, I don't think it's yards. I
Well,
swear it's feet.
yeah, that's a football.
And I don't think I brought
That'd
it.
be 2 footballs.
Huh?
Hmm?
Well, football field's 300 yards, 900 feet, right?
Yeah, all of them looked at it, and then she's also talking. Yeah, all of them looked at it, and then she's also talking with,
Was it 180, 180 is 360, right?
no, you're gonna go back, in back of the school, not across there, way back.
Right, so, I mean, I just wanted to get proportions.
And then what about, and then transportation?
Somebody also suggested, because we're gonna have Payne and Dolan doing the tours for the quarry possibly,
Yeah.
couldn't we use their buses? Ask them if we could use their buses? I don't know where those come from. If those are theirs, or if we should get buses. To advertise the wall also down at Civic Days, and then we can bus people up there. People who are up there can come down by us for lunch, but, you know, vice versa. We can kinda use the two interchanging. Come down, have a beer, eat something.
Civic days, what are those? That's my other hat.
Fourth-
I think they
Fourth of
rent those,
July
I think they rent those
celebration.
buses though,
Okay.
that they get, you know, just like a,
Yeah, I don't think P and D owns a bus.
you know. And it's more than one, usually, yeah.
Yeah, well, we could use two. Well, could we ask them as that, or do not for the wall?
I think they've been very generous, so. You know, just bring it up to them that we want to use, you know, and then maybe they'll come and offer that.
Yeah. Okay.
But at least 2 buses, I would think.
Yeah, I think so too. At least have them running in tandem with each other every half hour or something. And I didn't know how much foot traffic, but when I was at the Lions, they were talking about it, because they've apparently worked at a couple of them. And they said they've seen anywhere from 300 to 400. And they said they've seen anywhere from 300 to 400 every hour.
That'd be great.
So I can't even imagine that many people, but.
That'd be great.
It's gonna be a busy week.
Well,
Well, the important thing is that we not overwork you guys. Well, the important thing is that we not overwork you guys, so we need more volunteers. Lots more volunteers. Because I look at you guys in the evening of the 4th of July. John looks like death.
That's how you said, right?
Looks like death.
That's how you said, right? That's what you said right in front, yeah. Any other questions on that? Okay. Will I need, if we do open up for Payne and Dolan, will I need, if we do open up for Payne and Dolan to do the quarry tour again, I've gotten approval to start the festival at 3 o'clock, but what if we do Payne and Dolan like from 11 to 3? Do I have to get approval then? Because I get my when I apply for my permit, I got to give them times of the festival, and I've already applied already.
I would say send me an email and I'll put it on the record. I'll give it to the license committee and they can.
Okay.
But that doesn't deal with the grounds, so that's Payne and Dolan.
Up at the grounds, you know, so they can put everything on display.
Are you looking for a no?
No, I,
Okay, then send me an email
No.
saying the P and D is gonna do it.
you know. No, that's well attended actually, when they do that.
I don't think
Yeah, if you guys have never been in that pit, you should go do it. It's interesting.
It is, it's quite interesting. I've been down there. Very cool.
I'd like to promote it a little more activity.
Okay,
I didn't know they were
Promote it a little more activity.
okay.
I didn't know they were
Let's move on then. Mira brought up bingo.
Oh, it's new.
I just brought it up because I was reading the Constitution for some other reason, and then I noticed that it said like VFWs could do it. And I noticed that it said like VFWs could do it. So I thought VFWs are always kind of hurting for funds. Over on the side tennis courts, just east of the fire department, because the issue with bingo is you can never hear.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if anybody would object or think it's a good or bad, not those, because that's cornhole. Those. So that they're really kind of far away so they could hear. Do you think it would be okay if, to approach VFW and say, hey, would you want to do a bingo, like an afternoon or something like that? It's an added activity, it would generate funds for them,
Yeah, and operating, yeah,
but it would just coincide and then give
Yeah.
something to draw, something for people to do,
Yeah.
because bingo's always a pretty good draw.
yeah.
What day would that be on?
We don't,
That's up to
either
them.
Saturday or Sunday afternoon.
Oh, okay, that's where the fireworks are right down there, so.
They
Yeah,
would
but
obviously
rope
have
it
to
off
work
and
around
They
it.
rope it off in the afternoon, it takes them all day to set up the
Oh,
fireworks.
okay.
So they-
There's 50 organizations that would do it if the VFW wouldn't. Any Savarian missions that do it, any of the Catholic parishes that do it, any of the Lutheran parishes that do it. And,
Yeah, they've got
it's a
nice
little
stuff.
traditional for Jonathan. But I'm gonna ask just a loaded question. Do you really wanna have an activity that's not on the fairgrounds?
Isn't it though? It's still within the park though, isn't it?
Well, yeah,
I thought-
it's a philosophical.
In Legends Park, so it's really two different parks, but it would be ideal to have it right where we're at. If we could do it in that main tent.
In the band shell?
Yeah. Oh, that's even better.
As a Sunday afternoon thing or
Yeah.
something?
In the band shell, yeah.
Yeah, that would be even better.
In the band shell, yeah.
Yeah, that would be even better. Because there are tables and whatnot under there, and there's a speaker system in there.
Is there?
Yeah, yeah, because we used it when we did the canine thing. They plugged in over there. They plugged in over there.
The only thing is whoever does it has to have a gaming license.
Yes.
Easy,
Oh, yeah.
no problem. Gotta do it a month ahead of time. I think it's
Then do
$50.
the work so we don't have to do it.
Yeah, no, that, I was just thinking of, it's an added activity. I was just thinking of, it's an added activity, it's, doesn't take any of our labor.
Right.
There you go.
Sorry.
It's the truth.
But then the other thing is, we always get some, because we're drawing we usually always charge 10% for even, get some, because we're drawing we usually always charge 10% for even any kind of vendors we got. Would we want to, at least ask for 10%?
Always gotta have your taste.
Yeah, we're bringing the people here for them, the people here for them. Okay. It's it's in the planning then. See what we can do. All right, volunteers. Again, thank you, Pete. But the whole event. Now, we're running 4 days. Volunteers was an issue because of availability, because of COVID and all that stuff, but we did end up making it through last year. But we also reduced now starting at 3 rather than starting at 1 o'clock or noon. on Saturday and Sunday, so we cut out 2 shifts right there. So
And on those big days, like when we have Bella Cane, it's gonna be very difficult to do 4 people in that ticket. And only because when you've got 2 windows and 2 windows, and we have to go in there and do the money, and if it's gonna be that packed, and you know the officers are always torn, and they're running all different ways, we can't count money and stash it where we normally stash it, because you've got people looking at you, to speak. You know, when you've got 3 people or 4 people around you, and you don't wanna just take the money and go,
you know,
I think we
Yes.
should stick with 3. And that 4th window isn't visible anyway because of that tree.
yeah, we'd have to have something to tell, but we've had it where that 4th,
Tree.
yeah, we'd have to have something to tell, but we've had it where that 4th window for Bella Cane, all 4 people are
Yeah,
packed.
and it was hard to get.
Cause you
to
get too big of a
maneuver.
line going, people get, you know, discouraged too.
Yeah,
I thought we were looking into getting the ticket machines made before.
That's the other, yeah,
I thought we were looking into getting the ticket machines made before.
that's the other, yeah,
Like the rides, we put money in and print out the tickets, and you don't have to have a person
Yeah.
doing it.
yeah.
I don't know,
Well,
buy them, lease them, or what to do.
then let's set that as a goal then to do it by February.
We wanna find, maybe at the January, show, maybe someone will be making presentation of automatic ticket machines,
Yeah.
instead of having cashiers doing it all the time. Oh, it'd be
That would be
a
ideal.
great,
The
great,
selling feature on that is less labor, but better security. Of course, they're gonna,
control of, you know, ticket sales.
Cash control.
Yeah, cash control, you know, definitely. And we don't have to deal with handling money either. That's a win-win. Unless the machine goes, you
You still have
know,
to service the machine.
It's
Right.
a time machine.
Like the time machine.
Tickets in maybe if you had to, so.
yeah.
I'll have to ask Chip how his run.
But he doesn't have a ticket counter anymore? Where you would go buy tickets? I thought he.
Because I think like one that has a live person and the rest are all the automated ones.
Yeah, but he
I'll-
does have both ways, right?
Mhm.
That you get different from the booth versus the machines,
No, they're the same.
you know? Oh, and then we wouldn't have to print,
Tickets, yeah.
tickets too. Mm. Anything easier and better would be
Is
great.
your machine on the screen job? Screen job.
Oh, man. Where'd you find
We're
that?
gonna have the mayor come to more of our meetings.
Yeah,
that's what I do, man.
Technic.
What did I do? Automatic ticket dispenser.
Where did you?
Hey, you managed to turn the computer on, that beat us already.
Huh?
He turned the computer on, he's ahead of us.
I,
He turned the computer on, he's ahead of us.
I can get you guys a login for this. Okay, this is cash only. Alright, how much?
We could have one of each, cash only, or, we got the ATMs though, so they go to the ATM to get their money and go, buy ATM to get their money and go, buy your tickets.
414?
Wait a minute. Number's locked. Stop.
That would be awesome.
Oh, balance is 50s and 100s, good, and then that's our problem too, if we have counterfeit money, like the movie money.
Okay,
Or the
John.
movie money?
881-586-J, last name, at sbcglobal.net.
Alright, you guys go back to your.
Select a machine type.
You can handle that part.
You guys go back to your meeting.
Donate,
You guys go back to your meeting. I'll figure
Donations.
this out.
Hey, yeah. Okay. Donations and sponsorships.
Yeah, pick what kind of vending machine up there, John.
You'll do it.
Okay, standard cabinet, yeah. That'll get us to it.
You'll do it.
Okay, standard cabinet, yeah. That'll get us to it.
Okay, Mira?
I do want to promote as much as possible. If they are gonna do the tours of the quarry again, I'd like to somehow. I wanted to add the cornhole tournament, if Doug's gonna do that, maybe at the 500 level. Move level at 1,000 to 2,000, which would be the 4th of July parade, the ice cream giveaway, but then create another level at 2,000 to 5,000, because you really can't get a band for under 2,000. And then that could maybe add the wall of honor.
Money towards something. They don't have to pay for
Right.
it all like with the bands. You know, they can, we never usually get them to sponsor a band.
Okay,
Usually we never had someone, I want to sponsor a band or entertain. They usually like children's events
okay.
and just the main festival.
And I still have the children down at the 500 where it was.
Yeah, I think the wall, I think we probably will get donations for that.
Do you want me to just have more of a generic list of things that they could sponsor with the sponsorship levels?
Just not, I mean, what we have is good. The only one I picture is the wall. You mentioned the tour. The tour is all sponsored by Payne and Dolan. That we don't.
That's theirs.
That's theirs. Yep.
But I think it would be nice to put something in the newsletter.
Oh, in the newsletter about the tour, yes. Oh, yes. Yep, definitely. That's always been.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yep, definitely. That's always been listed. But as far as sponsorships, just the wall would be probably, what do you think? I think $500, just like the children's. Just like the children's.
I think because it's so high.
You think it's too high?
No, I think because the wall is so high, expensive wise.
Right, that's,
And you have what, 2,000 before?
Whatever level, really.
Oh, I think that's perfect.
and then I don't know if you want me to modify the letter
We got
to
a
include
business
the
in
wall.
the business part that does that.
Our,
Do
Moved
we
in.
really?
what?
Just moved in.
Technic is from,
EMF, something like that?
Carry on, I'll figure it out. I can do you. EI, right?
Yeah.
No, I think that's good. Just change to the wall. No, I think that's good. Just change to the wall.
okay. While you're looking that up, I'll cover the food vendors. Food vendors usually get their applications in January. So we won't know anything about the food vendors. Most of them are probably going to come. So we won't know anything about the food vendors. Most of them are probably going to come back. You know, they all did very well last year, and the only one that we didn't have that we'd like to have is the new Billy Sims barbecue.
Why not Big Daddy's?
Well, Big Daddy's would be good. They both would be good. I would answer that by saying Billy Sims is more mainstream. But I gotta tell you, Big Daddy's is doing a big business. Oh, would you agree with my statement, though?
I haven't tried Billy Sims.
It's
I like it.
mainstream.
I like it.
I do too.
I go around. I go to barbecues, and
Yeah.
their pulled pork with coleslaw is really good.
The other one that may have a spot is, as I mentioned, Bigby. Bigby.
We've been asking them. Tell him to
Yeah.
return phone calls.
You guys know when you get in these issues, talk to Ed or I.
I had all the girls lined up. They were all picking their shifts. He never called. I went in there. I can't tell you how many times. Very frustrating. In there, I can't tell you how many times. Very frustrating. start working on them now.
And the next topic then?
John, did you get the email with the link?
Yeah,
Okay.
I said, yeah, I need the password again.
Oh, okay.
Because it's in,
Okay.
because it's in the Google account.
Yeah, but it should have just, okay.
Yeah, well, I got it about 6 o'clock,
Okay.
and I just did it on my phone and said, oh, what's the Google password? I know the mayor's waiting for this one, fireworks. We got approved for budget to spend $3,000 more.
Budget, spend more.
Uh, Yeah, in that range. But we want to add, and I did send him an email, I do want to have a better grand finale. You know, have it, I'd rather have it be 15 minutes with a better grand finale instead of having boom, 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 people wait. And this grand finale was,
You couldn't really tell it was the grand finale.
yeah,
Why don't we do them on the night of the 3rd then?
How'd you like it on this side?
yeah. That worked out. Location worked out.
Thing then,
Well,
downtown?
they haven't had for what, the last couple of years, have they? No, either.
What
They said
about
they
parking?
have a sponsor.
And what about parking? They'll take away parking on that, you know. Takes away parking when you have it because they can't park in there.
But you know what
At
that
night.
does though? If you take away the parking here on this side, that opens up the entire baseball field for people to sit in. If you chose to do that. People to sit in. If you chose to do that. Out of the box,
And-
baby.
I know another issue, we gotta go back and I think we close off too many roadways of no parking. Roadways of no parking. I think that's one thing.
That's
That-
Sergeant Steele.
All of Drexel, I mean, I've been to even Greenfield for Dan Jansen. And there they got Edgerton, is it Edgerton that goes
Cold Spring.
Cold Spring? Goes all, that's 4 lanes. And they have that street open for parking. We don't even have Drexel open for parking.
Well, we gotta be careful with Drexel because that's our main fire line. So.
Because of the fire station. But it's all, got so many areas that no parking, no parking. That's one of the biggest complaints I get, your parking is the worst.
Well, but then again, if you shoot off the fireworks from the baseball diamond behind the fire station, you got the entire Legend 2 who could park cars. You can argue with Kevin Schlieder about whether to put them on the baseball diamond or not. You know, just an idea.
Yeah, I
Close.
wouldn't advise parking on Drexel, that's dark. You can't see, and people parking on Drexel, that's dark. You can't see, and people don't wear light clothing, so you can't see when somebody's walking with a black shirt and black pants on.
Yeah.
But you might ask Sergeant Ireland to review some parking.
Parking.
But when you put the fireworks on the baseball diamond, they need like a really big space around them, so you're gonna lose all that seating on the grass there, and most of that will be roped off. It's kind of a squeezing of which way do you go with it.
Yeah, but if they go across the street, or across the creek,
Yeah, but when they're on that side of the creek, then people can't sit. They rope off just, like they're in that baseball field on the other side of the river, but they gotta cut off at Drexel and up around, almost by those houses up there. They need a huge area to, I don't know if it's a law that they do it or, but they rope off a heck of a. And I don't know what the guidelines are, that's, the fire department, I think, actually knows more on that kind of stuff.
No, we gotta be 400 feet from any structures.
And their side might be too close to the fire department.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
you know, it just so happens we can do measurements.
true. Yeah.
You know, it just so happens we can do measurements here. Now, is that considered a structure, I suppose? $400 feet? Sorry. That doesn't work.
That's cool.
But they're not 400.
That building is empty, then nobody can use it, so they don't count it as a building. It's an occupied building, that's.
Oh, no, occupied,
Yeah.
That's a little detail I didn't have. Yeah, this building here is kind of occupied. And you really hate to have us have a situation. That's not good for press.
I say you gotta watch out where the debris field is too for the stuff that comes down.
I've had it in my yard.
Yeah. The DPW does a good job. One year they had to go on the roof of all the houses to the east of the wind shifted.
Oh, these guys. See, this is all no parking. This is no parking on one side, on Forest Meadows. This is no parking on one side. You can park in my driveway if you want. I know 88th Street's no parking, but I don't know who set the parking limits, Sergeant, you?
It's been for many years,
And we
many
have a lot of
years.
Complaints from the neighborhoods about parking, and that probably is what brought on.
Complaints
Parking in there.
that there are people parking there, or
Yeah, the traffic that parks and walks back and forth and things that happen in people's yards.
Well, I can tell you that this is all cars on this side of the street. But most of these people are having parties.
Yeah,
But most of these people are having parties.
yeah.
Had a lot of people back up on the north side last year, or this year, I should say.
We're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what over here is no parking. Yeah, I don't know what over here is no parking.
I don't think any of it.
I think you're right.
They were all parked along Willow Point when the fireworks were going off. I don't know if anybody's parking in the school parking lot.
But you know what? Who cares?
We tried to offer the school, we did offer to sign to the school, we tried to offer the school, we did offer to sign to the school, but hardly any, it was a distance. You know, hardly, we remember, we put, we put signs leading to that school. Every time I drove by it, there were no park cars in it.
But we needed,
Well, every time I drove by it, there were no park cars in it.
but we needed a bus to take them back and forth. You couldn't.
Got to.
People couldn't walk, not
Yeah,
on that
that's a
road.
ways.
We did a bus ride once from the ski hill to the grounds, and we had 7 people use it for 3 days. So
Yeah, but that's before,
we gotta sign the heck out of it or advertise it to get it to work. But you start doing it year after year so that you get used to it.
I would see the ballpark not having a problem with us doing parking there because it draws people to their location also.
Those 4 days.
You usually have games or, yeah, some events going on. But that would be another one to run the bus, a bus back and forth from.
Zimmerman can do it himself. Because he gets the benefit.
He gets the benefit. Okay. So, yeah, Tony, if you can, let them know about the fireworks.
Okay. And the grand finale, you want it slower or what?
No, more for that, and instead of, it usually starts at 9, probably 10 to 10,
Yeah.
20 minutes. I'd rather see it start at, 9:35 and then go to 10, and just have it more shooting at the grand finale. 'Cause that's what everyone remembers.
9:30
Sometimes you're just sitting there, okay, when is the grand finale, and
9:35 to
when is the grand finale, and
9:35 to 10.
just 5 minutes less of the fireworks being shut off and use the extra fireworks for the grand finale.
Okay.
Plus
If
you
he has
got,
any questions, have him call you.
Yeah, and I
plus
If
you
he has
got,
any questions, have him call you.
yeah, and I did ask him about that, you know, when I gave him a review afterwards, so he said, we'll look at it.
are you doing ground displays?
We haven't done the ground, because they do, yeah, we have it because of the trees and all that, and only people in the field see it, so. But we did one more where it was more of a lower display, you know, it shot it up, but it wasn't a real high, so, but nothing on the ground display. All right, I guess we had no complaints about it.
What are you looking at me for?
We haven't had the helicopter rides for a while,
That all calmed down too once it changed its route.
yeah. But it was all 2 days of helicopter rides, and we netted $300, and
Yeah.
for all that risk and everything, something worth all the, DPW had to close off a big area, and so we haven't had them for a while.
You would figure out a band for that.
All right, we covered parade. Parade we'll work on more closer to when the time comes. Parade we'll work on more closer to when the time comes. Carnival will be back. We will have, now because we have Saturday and Sunday, we'll have wristband days, you know, on Saturday and Sunday, which we weren't able to have very, you know, people love that. You know, on Saturday and Sunday, which we weren't able to have very, you know, people love that. But yeah, the carnival should be back. Anything else that we didn't cover?
Branding,
Oh,
beverages,
beverages,
January,
right. We'll talk about beverages the next time.
okay.
List of emergency contacts.
Emergency contact list, yes. Yes.
Branding, my favorite subject. Frank Fest, Franklin Fest, Civic Days, pick a name, right?
Well,
So pick a
True.
name.
but here's kind of the catch. We have a lot of capital invested in the banners. Rather than reprinting them, would it be feasible, or just throwing an idea out there, keep it as Franklin Civic Celebration as the umbrella, and then now, especially since there's the Wall of Honor, which is a satellite, or the Wall That Heals, which is a satellite event, but it's part of the Civic
And
Celebration.
the Christmas tree lighting ceremony.
It's part of the Civic
And the
Celebration.
Christmas tree lighting ceremony.
Right, so have like Independence Day Festival at Legend Park, Wall That Heals, but it's still the main banner.
I'm
Does
good with
that-
that. I just call the event what it is. You know, hearing people say Frank Fest, that just drives me crazy. It's disrespectful, and it's not what it is. It's,
Thankfully, I've never heard that.
I never either.
oh, lots of kids.
Last
say
thing
all
about
that.
it,
Yeah.
Franklin Fest.
Oh, well, it is though, it's Franklin Fest.
But it's not, the reason it's there is Independence Day celebration, so, you know, Civic Celebrations Commission, so you gotta have a banner, right? It is what it is. And I'm not big on spending money to replace
Right.
logos and stuff. As you can tell, the water tower still has their own logo on it. It's gonna be that way until the water department takes that tower.
And Brian, are you gonna run our beer again?
If you like.
Oh, yes.
He just doesn't want me in the tent.
Oh, you're my favorite one.
No, I also appreciate everything you do.
So you didn't decide on branding? John's dodging it. John's dodging it.
Why can't
Here
it
it's
be, why
fun.
can't it be
Yeah.
Franklin, Civic Celebration, Independence Day? Still
Yeah,
use
'cause-
Civic Celebration, July 4th, and then Wall of Honor. July 4th, and then Wall of Honor. for for next year, and then the year after we can work on
It doesn't matter, I just would like us
getting new
to
whatever.
reflect what the occasion is, because you're not gonna call the tree lighting ceremony the civic celebration.
Right.
You know, you're gonna, lighting ceremony, the civic celebration.
Right.
You know, you're gonna,
Well, no, it's
Franklin
the
Civic Celebrations presents.
Commission, yeah.
Yeah, so what is the presents? And my suggestion is Independence Day, because that's really what it is, July 4th is the date, it's not.
It's July 2nd.
But it's the 4th of July. Can I add something to that? But it's the 4th of July. Can I add something to that? Just
It's, you guys make the decision, I'm just trying to guide you, that's all.
after
We
the
are an
parade-
advisory committee officially.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, officially.
After the parade, when the parade comes through and the kids come down to get their ice cream. Now, I know there was a hullabaloo about all that. Because of the timing and because most of the elder persons don't come anyway to help, can we give the ice cream out, start it out, and then when you guys are done and you come down, I think it would be nicer if you took a box and wandered around and handed.
We have this year that came.
Nobody, Sherry was the only one.
Just
that
Sherry and
came.
you?
Sherry and I.
Yeah, nobody ever comes. It's been
I don't-
3 years, 4 years?
They used to be all over there.
Well, I mean,
There's a
sometimes
number of
I've been
issues.
here.
There's a number of issues.
You're an alderman.
Now.
Right, right.
They
But
can't hand it out during the parade?
No,
Um,
it's gotta be, it's gotta be.
So, however you guys want to do it, but here's the deal. The passing out of ice cream gives the community an opportunity to see who the elected officials are. And you'll recall that I invited the school board to come in and do it with us for specifically that purpose 6 years ago, right? Then they kind of took over that purpose 6 years ago, right? Then they kind of took over, but it's only because our aldermen can't show up. But it allows them to see their elected officials up close and personal. That's my view of what it's about. The reality is it's about giving away free ice cream. The reality is it's about giving away free ice cream.
But they
So-
see you, of course.
They see you in the
up close
parade,
and
though.
personal,
They
yeah,
see you.
giving your Tootsie Rolls.
and when you go by in the parade, yeah.
Well,
And it's a different touch when you're walking up to somebody and handing, say, hey, can I get you an ice cream? You know, you're making that direct contact with them
Yeah.
versus just.
However-
You know, you're making that direct contact with them
Yeah.
versus just.
however you guys want to do it, but that was the reason. And the reason for the waiting was, I was told by my predecessors, was to build the anticipation and as well keep the ice cream solid before, so it didn't melt.
Bet it was at 94 degrees though, all those years.
I've been on this parade since 1992, I think it's been, no, mid-80s. I'm not gonna, it's whatever you guys want to do, but that was the reasoning behind it, that's all.
So you wouldn't be offended if we did some type of a restructure?
I'll find a way.
Email on it.
Can't be offended on ice cream. Okay. Anyone else got a motion here?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Here,
Favor say aye.
with this nice